Today on Let's Fish TV, we've got a special episode for y'all. We are in Southeast Texas doing some coastal bass fishing in some of the Texas marshes. You know, you don't really think about bass fishing and the coast, but guys, let me tell you, in these marsh ponds, these marsh little areas, these marsh bayous, it is amazing to fish down here. Not a lot of people know about these areas, and plus, the fishing is just phenomenal. You can get in bayous, coves, little marsh lakes like we're in right now, and you can really hammer them. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now.
That's a big one right there.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southwest region every week.
You ever caught a fish that big?
No!
Got it.
Another day. There you go. Another redfish.
Got
him. Now, that's what Let's Fish TV is all about right there, guys.
Hi and welcome to Let's Fish TV. My name is Lance Duff. I am guest hosting for Andrew Upshaw. Guys, we have a special show for y'all today. We're doing some marsh fishing down here in Southeast Texas. Guys, it is the dog days of summer. It is very hot. But right here behind me is just one amazing marsh. We're gonna show you today that you can just flat out catch them in the marsh. You can have 100 fish days out here. We'll have this week's fishing report from your local region from our inside reporters. All right, guys, we gotta get some Strike King lures rigged up, gotta get the boat in the water, get the gear ready. While I'm doing that, we're gonna toss it back to the studio for your weekend planner.
Thanks so much for joining us here on Let's Fish TV. The Salooner tables are predicting fair game fish activity on Saturday and good activity on Sunday. Peak times begin around 10:59 Saturday and 11:54 midday on Sunday. The evening action will begin at 11:29 on Saturday. Depending on your local area, expect the sun to rise around 6:54 and set around 8:11. Evenings will feature a bright full moon this weekend. Be sure to join Let's Fish TV on Facebook and YouTube to stay up to date with our latest fishing adventures and tips. Follow us on Facebook at Let's Fish TV and subscribe to our YouTube channel where we post all of our current and past episodes. Also, we are on Instagram too.
Good morning, guys. Today on Let's Fish TV, we got a special show for you. We are marsh fishing some of the coastal counties in Southeast Texas. We're fishing a giant marsh lake right now, but this is brackish water. All this is kind of connected to the intercoastal, and guys, let me tell you, it may be August, it's hot out here, but the bass fishing in places like this are just phenomenal. A lot of times you'll have these fisheries to yourselves. So we're gonna go for bass throwing big worms. There's also big brim that live in here. We may catch a couple big redfish in here. It's so possible. The fun thing about the marsh, you have so many different species of fish that live in it. It's gonna be a good day. You guys are gonna get a lot of value out of today's video. Let's go catch some fish. Here goes some fish right here moving. I don't know if it was mullet getting chased by bass. Something made something move. And all we're doing is just kind of fan casting. You've got grass right below us. There's grass from one side of this pond we're fishing to the other. A little brim bit me. You got reeds around it. We've got lily pads. So there's just an amazing habitat for these fish to grow and grow big. There's a bite. That's good. No, it's got me in the grass. Come on, baby, get out of that grass. This is a big fish. Oh, come on, come on. It's a good 4-pounder. Come here, baby. There's the net. Let's get this thing in. Come here. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Soaked in the grass. Strike King Zeus worm. Man, that is just a nice one. This is like my, I don't know, third or fourth cast of the day. That's how you start the day. So we're fishing coastal marsh fisheries. So right now, the bottom of this whole lake is just covered in grass just like this. It's got some hydrilla, got some lily pads, but it is going to be a very fun day of fishing. I'm just pumped up because the day just got started. So let's get this fish back. Let's go catch some more.
Hi everybody and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you once again by Athlon Optics, giving you the very best value and quality in all manner of optics, including scopes, binoculars, red dots, thermal imaging, and more. Check out Athlon, your best bang for your buck. Now this week we're going to start on Lake Fork. We're going to go bass fishing, but we're going to do it at night and avoid some of the heat. Start your evening around either the dam area or some of the main lake points. I like those points either side of Little Caney. They're big, they're main lake, they've got shallows, they've got deep water, everything you need to connect with those nighttime bass. We're going to start with a black blue buzzbait up shallow. After that, we're going to work a black blue spinnerbait, and then we're going to throw a Texas rig 10-inch power worm in blue fleck. Those three baits should be all you need for a night's fishing. If you want to add in a fourth, a black crankbait around the open areas is always a pretty good choice. Now up at Cooper Lake, now known as Jim Chapman, you're going to find the hybrid fishing during the day very good late in the afternoon. They really fire off in the hottest part of the day. That means you're going to have to go out there and brave the heat to catch these fish. Look for the humps. If you go up near the deep end of the lake and use your electronics, you'll see plenty of humps to work with. You should see some bait fish and some hybrids using those as well. Cast out your slab, let it sink, reel it back in 4 or 5 times, then mash the button, let it fall again, and that'll get you connected with some of those Cooper hybrids. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes. Be sure and check us out on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
So right here we got real thick pepper grass to my right, real thick to the left, and right dead center to this is just kind of a open little, I'm gonna call it a marsh drain out here. Maybe one of the old ditches that used to run through here before the marsh kind of flooded this setup. And what this does right here, these fish can get in on either side of these pepper grass patches, and whatever brim or shad or mullet swim through here, they can eat. It just presents an ideal fishing situation. There wasn't one that jumped over that way, a little out of casting distance, but this drain kind of goes around and it looks like it kicks back to the left. There's one. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a real good one. How big a bass are we? Oh my gosh, there's another one with it about the same size. Look at him right there. Maybe you could see that other fish with him. Come here, baby. That's a good one. That baby is solid. That is one heck of a marsh bass. So I'm throwing I just switched it up a little bit. Kept seeing them jump. They weren't really reacting to my swim bait, my swim jig, or that Zeus worm, but I picked up I'm gonna show you this lure. It's the Ned Bug from Strike King, and if I had one lure just to fish the marsh with, where'd it go? It is this guy right here in the dirt color. This is my favorite color. Like, this is, I'm gonna call it a guaranteed bait because it has never let me down since it come out. So that's one thing you definitely need to add to your arsenal when you come do this marsh fishing. That is a real nice, healthy largemouth bass for the marsh. Every marsh that I've been in, from Louisiana to Texas, this is pretty much what's on the bottom out here. The shrimp live in it, the mullet, the mud minnows, the sun perch that are out here. So this is all brackish water, but this stuff right here, they get in it, and especially when you have this, lily pads mixed together, it's like icing on the cake. So anytime you find this kind of clumped up or just a flat bottom with this on the bottom, you're gonna do really well. And again, this is what I just caught that fish on. This is a Strike King Ned Bug. My absolute favorite way. This is a secret of mine, but this guy right here, any marsh I've ever taken it to, this guy just flat out catches them. And it's so easy, your child could even get out here and catch them on this. I mean, throw it, jig it a couple times. It's even an exposed hook, and we're fishing very heavy grass. It really doesn't get hung up that much, but this guy right here is definitely a go-to for out in the marsh.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Power Pull, total boat control. Balls Out, made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on, challenge your limits.
Oh gosh. Oh, it's a big one. Get out of that pad. Get out of that pad. Come here, come here, come here, come here. There's a bite. That's a good one. That's a real good one. He's coming up. And he's going back down. This gotta be a redfish. No, it's a bass. It's a good bass. Look at this thing right here. Way down in that marsh grass. Come here, baby. Open your mouth. Yeah. Old Strike King Zeus worm got him another one. Look at that thing. That is a fat fish. That's how you want them to eat that Zeus worm. Man, what a fish. So we just changed locations. We decided to pull up to some lily pads. So the lily pads right here, there's a good sandy spot I noticed, and we started casting in it. And I thought this might have been one of these redfish out here, but what a stud of a bass. Man, that's awesome. This is why you gotta come out here to the marsh and these marsh ponds. I mean, they are loaded with fish just like this. This is a stud right here. We're gonna get this fish back. So, and you know too, we might even catch a redfish or a trout out here in these coastal bodies of water. I mean, all these bass out here, they feed on mullet, they feed on mud minnows. I brought some of the new Strike King shrimp to try because I throw a lot of the shrimp style baits over at Sabine where I fish a ton, and it catches a lot of largemouth, and it catches some big largemouth. So we're fishing this flat right here. It's just a marsh flat is all it is. It's got grass, it's got some old stumps before this marsh flooded, and it's just a great little flat to fish. And really there's no like spot within the spot except when the grass is up to the top and it has just a little clear patch out to the side. So there's a bite. Golly. And that was a hard bite. I don't think that one was a little one. There's a bite. I think this one's gonna be small. Oh, what do I got? Look at here, fellas. Look at the size of this bluegill. Holy cow. Wow, and look how fat he is. I mean, that thing is huge. You could have a big fish taco out of this guy. I think that's the biggest bluegill I've ever caught. I mean, that thing is pretty. So a lot of these big bass out here, they will eat these guys. They prefer the smaller ones, but yeah, that is cool. I don't think I've ever caught one that big. Get this guy back and hopefully catch us the bass that are gonna eat this thing.
What's up guys, Captain Taylor Burrell here with this week's fishing report. And down here in Galveston, it has been hot, hot, hot. Ain't been hardly any wind blowing, but you know what? It makes it really calm offshore. This week we've been catching a lot of our big red snapper, of course, catching a few mangrove snappers as well, beeliners. Even stumbled into a really good school of kingfish the other day. I had one at 30 pounds. That was really fun. Hadn't seen those in a while. Party boats came back with some big tunas, yellowfin, lots of blackfin tunas as well, even some groupers. Inshore speckled trout fishing has really been phenomenal. Been a few redfish and tons and tons and tons of sharks. Now remember guys, if y'all want to come down here in Galveston, Texas, go fishing, give us a call.
Oh gosh. Oh, it's a big one. Get out of that pad. Get out of that pad. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Yeah, baby, look at that one. Look where that menace grub's at. So this fish a second ago, it rocked my popping perch. Wouldn't come back up and hit it. And just flipped in there, gave it a bunch of flips. What a fun day it has been. Man, it's a good day. This is why you come fish these coastal fisheries. I mean, they are loaded with fish just like this. Man, what a bass. We're gonna put this fish back. All right, talking about the setup I used to catch that big bass, this is it right here. This is a Strike King Menace Grub green pumpkin chartreuse. Just a simple Texas rig. Now I use between 1/2 ounce and 3/4 ounce for punching all kinds of grass, and on a 4/0 wide gap hook. This guy right here mimics a lot of the brim that these bass out here eat. So this is something you definitely need to rig up. You can throw this in lily pads, isolated clumps of grass, or just straight up heavy cover. This guy right out here will definitely get some bites, some big bites at that. So this is one thing you need to have in your tackle box. Got a real good clump of grass right here, kind of a sandy area that meets this grass right here. There'll be 1 or 2 around it. Might pick up a... All right, you just missed that big one. Get back here with a swim jig. Come on, baby. That was a good fish. Just come straight up out of the grass. And here we go. There we go. That fish hit it and come straight towards me. Not the biggest of the day, but a little bit bigger. Switching it up to that big worm, and that's what they're living in right there. That's a good thick marsh bass. Probably eating some shrimp, some more of them little brim that live out here. Get him back in. See if we can't catch us a real big one. So this grass right here, I've always called it pepper grass, but anytime I'm around that, it's just kind of like, hey, there's gonna be fish here. So anytime you guys happen to get around that, slow down, give it a good effort. Not every patch of it you come to is gonna be good, but you'll get in a patch similar to what we're fishing and they'll just be loaded in it. It's a great place that'll hold a lot of brim, a lot of minnows, and it definitely holds a big bass.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose, Feel the Difference, Strike King, Tie One On, and by Glacier Outdoors since 1982.
That Strike King Zeus worm again, and look how well he ate it. That's where he's supposed to. Man, what a fun day of fishing. Fishing action is still pretty hot. And speaking of the hot weather, we want to talk real quick. Oh, there was a bite right there about sun protection. Glacier Gloves is a sponsor of this show, and guys, these are a must-have summertime. These, like the back of your hands, are one of the areas that a lot of fishermen, myself included, forgot about. I'd never put sunscreen on back in the days. I've got a lot of sunspots on my hands, but this is one thing you got to start taking care of yourself, us as fishermen. This is very critical. And another thing too that's real nice about these gloves have seen, I don't know, probably 50 days on the water. Both of them have held up real well. I catch a lot of fish in these. I lip the fish in these, let them go. They also, from them bigger bass you catch, they'll save your hands from getting tore up by them fish's teeth, and it's just a real good asset to have in your boat. There's a fish. That's another good one. Here he comes, coming up. Got me in the grass. Stay down, stay down. That mouthful of grass he's got. Come here, come here. Go, me spot lock us. That Strike King Zeus worm again, and look how well he ate it. That's where he's supposed to. Man, what a fun day of fishing. So this is what's cool about coastal fisheries is, you know, most people, they don't really associate largemouth bass with it. They think speckled trout, flounder, redfish, but you guys have got to find some of these coastal waters around your area. I use my cell phone, I'll get on Google Earth, and I'll just look for different bayous, different places off the intercoastal. We're above the intercoastal where we're fishing today, but what a nice largemouth bass. We're gonna get him back and we're gonna go catch us another one. That's a big one, I think. That's a good one. Oh yeah. Strike King Zeus worm gets it done. So we just did a change up. We were getting lots of bites on that Ned bug. We picked up this Zeus worm, caught a bigger one. So anytime you get in the situation you're catching a lot, it kind of slows down. Give them something different to look at and you'll get results just like this. There's a bite. Tricked you. Strike King swim jig and rage tail on the back. Got a little brim color, but typical marsh bass. Fun to catch right here in the lily pads where he's supposed to be. We can get out there and get us another one. You know, whether an alligator fanned a little area out, whether maybe it was fish that got in here and did all this, there's a sand bottom right here, and there's a fish right there. They'll get in these little sand areas. There's the grass again, and look how he ate this little Ned bug. I mean, you come out here to the marsh, you catch tons and tons of bass like this. I mean, I feel confident telling y'all we could have a 50 fish day. A lot of them be this size, but you do have lots of good ones in the mix right here. So we're gonna get him back. We're gonna make another cast right here, being we're in this sandy spot. Because usually there's gonna be a few stacked in here. It's important I get all the grass off my bait. You know, there could be shrimp down there, could be a little bitty brim. There's another bite. Yeah, loaded right here. That's a better one. And there's two of them with it. Look right here. He done got to the boat now. See if I can get that other one come. That's a good one. Get down here, open your mouth. Open your mouth, baby, there we go. Yep, that's how they eat it. And they, you know, that other one that was chasing us, my Ned bug's gone, so. That is just a real nice marsh bass.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, the ultimate fishing system, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach Tourism. Let's fish on Alabama's beaches. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by passion. Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
All right, guys, jumping in here to tell you what we caught our fish on today. So what I started catching a lot of fish on at first was this Strike King Rage Bug. This is the dirt color. Out of all the Strike King products I use out in the marsh, this guy right here is my favorite. I catch them in any marsh system that I've ever fished in. This is one thing you definitely want to add to your tackle box. Another thing that we caught quite a few fish on, and some good ones, was this Strike King Zeus worm, green pumpkin, chartreuse. There's a lot of grass on the bottom. This worm comes through the grass really well. It's got this curly tail on the end, gives it a lot of action. And what we caught the biggest fish on today, we decided to go flip some reeds. I had a big one come up and knock my popping perch, wouldn't come back to it, so I started flipping the grass around it, and this is a Strike King Minnow Scrub. This bait right here is amazing for punching grass or rigged up, just Texas rig. And a lot of times too, I'll throw this out there and just reel it in. This tail action kicks. It's one thing that you always need to have in your tackle box no matter where you're fishing, and it really catches them good out in the marsh. That's what we caught them on today on Let's Fish TV.